What happens when respect gets thrown out the window and a wrestler decides enough is enough? Today on Suplex Rumble, we're breaking down the explosive backstage confrontation between Izzi Dame and the controversial duo of Spears and Vance that has the entire wrestling world talking. Welcome back to Suplex Rumble, the channel where we dive deep into the stories, rivalries, and unforgettable moments that make professional wrestling the greatest form of entertainment on the planet. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss our breakdowns, predictions, and exclusive wrestling content. Today we're talking about a backstage incident that's been making waves across social media, wrestling forums, and locker rooms everywhere. Izzi Dame, one of the most determined competitors in the business today, came face to face with Spears and Vance in what witnesses are calling one of the most intense non-televised confrontations in recent memory. So let's set the stage and break down exactly what went down, why it matters, and what this could mean for everyone involved moving forward. Before we get into the confrontation itself, let's talk about the personalities involved because understanding who these wrestlers are is crucial to understanding why this situation exploded the way it did. First up, Izzi Dame. This competitor has been climbing the ranks with a combination of technical skill, natural charisma, and an unbreakable will to succeed. Dame's wrestling style is all about precision strikes, innovative submission holds, and an ability to adapt to any opponent's strategy. But what really sets Izzi Dame apart is the respect for the business, the dedication to the craft, and an old-school mentality that says you earn your spot through hard work, not shortcuts. Dame has been vocal about maintaining the integrity of professional wrestling, about treating this art form with the reverence it deserves, and about holding everyone to the same standard of excellence. That mindset has earned Dame a loyal fanbase and the respect of veterans throughout the industry. Now, on the other side of this equation, we have Spears and Vance. This duo has made quite a name for themselves, but not always for the right reasons. While there's no denying their in-ring abilities, both are athletic, aggressive, and capable of spectacular performances. Their attitude backstage has reportedly rubbed many people the wrong way. Multiple sources have described Spears and Vance as wrestlers who believe they're entitled to opportunities without putting in the work behind the scenes. There have been whispers about them cutting corners during training, showing up late to rehearsals, and displaying arrogance toward both peers and veterans alike. In an industry built on respect, camaraderie, and paying your dues, that kind of behavior doesn't go unnoticed, and it definitely doesn't go unpunished. The tension between Dame and this duo had been building for weeks. Small incidents, subtle disrespect, professional disagreements, all of it was adding up. And as any wrestling fan knows, when pressure builds in this business, something eventually has to give. So here's what we know about the actual confrontation. According to multiple eyewitness accounts from people who were backstage that day, the incident took place in the talent area, near the locker rooms, shortly before a scheduled event. Izzi Dame had just finished a production meeting and was heading back when Dame crossed paths with Spears and Vance. Now, what happened next depends slightly on whose version you believe, but the core facts remain consistent across all accounts. Dame approached the duo directly. No hesitation, no backup, no cameras, just a competitor who had something to say and was going to say it face to face. According to sources, Dame called out Spears and Vance for their recent behavior, specifically mentioning incidents where they had disrespected other wrestlers, failed to show professionalism during collaborative work, and created a toxic atmosphere that was affecting the entire locker room. One witness described Dame's demeanor as controlled intensity, not shouting, not losing composure, but speaking with absolute conviction and directness. Dame reportedly told them, if you want to be in this business, you need to act like you belong here. Respect isn't optional. Now, Spears and Vance? They didn't take kindly to being called out. According to accounts, they initially tried to laugh it off, dismissing Dame's concerns and suggesting that Dame was jealous of their success or couldn't handle their confidence. That response, unsurprisingly, didn't help the situation. The confrontation escalated verbally, with both sides standing their ground. Spears reportedly got more aggressive in his posturing, while Vance tried to interject with sarcastic comments. Dame, however, didn't back down an inch. In fact, multiple sources say that Dame's composure and refusal to be intimidated actually seemed to catch the duo off guard. Here's where it gets really interesting. Other wrestlers and backstage personnel began to take notice of what was happening. A small crowd formed, but here's the thing: nobody immediately jumped in to separate them. Why? Because according to those present, many people backstage had been waiting for someone to finally address Spears and Vance's behavior. Dame was saying what others had been thinking. Eventually, a veteran wrestler and a member of the production staff did step in to de-escalate the situation before it could become physical. But the damage, so to speak, was already done. Lines had been drawn, and everyone backstage knew that this wasn't over, not by a long shot. So what happened after the confrontation? Well, the wrestling community, both behind the scenes and among fans, had a lot to say about it. First, let's talk about the backstage reaction. According to reports, Dame received significant support from other wrestlers in the locker room. Several veterans reportedly approached Dame privately to express appreciation for standing up and addressing an issue that had been festering. In professional wrestling, where respect and tradition matter deeply, calling out unprofessional behavior is often seen as necessary for maintaining the integrity of the business. When word of the confrontation leaked to fans, because let's be real, nothing stays secret in wrestling for long, the response was overwhelmingly in support of Izzi Dame. Social media exploded with fans praising Dame for having the courage to confront disrespect head-on and for defending the values that make professional wrestling special. Comments like "finally someone stood up to them, Izzi Dame is a real one," and "this is what the business needs" flooded wrestling forums and social media platforms. Fan-made graphics, hashtags, and even tribute videos celebrating Dame's backbone started circulating within hours. As for Spears and Vance, their response has been interesting. Neither has made a direct public statement about the confrontation, but their social media activity tells a story. Vance posted cryptic messages about haters and people who can't handle success, while Spears shared workout videos with captions about staying focused on greatness. Classic deflection tactics that only seem to reinforce the perception that they don't quite understand the gravity of the situation. Some fans have defended the duo, arguing that confident wrestlers shouldn't be criticized for believing in themselves. And that's a fair point. Confidence is absolutely crucial in this business. But there's a difference between confidence and arrogance, between self-belief and disrespect. The wrestling community, by and large, seems to recognize that distinction. From a business perspective, this confrontation puts promoters and booking teams in an interesting position. Do you reward the wrestler who stood up for locker room values? Do you address the behavioral issues with Spears and Vance? Or do you capitalize on the heat and turn this real-life tension into a compelling storyline? Smart Money says this situation becomes a storyline because that's what professional wrestling does best. It takes real emotion, real conflict, and real personalities and channels them into unforgettable entertainment. So where do we go from here? Let's talk about the possible directions this situation could take and what it means for everyone involved. Possibility 1: the grudge match. The most obvious direction is a direct feud between Izzi Dame and Spears and Vance. Whether it's a singles match, a handicap match, or Dame finding a partner for a tag team showdown, the foundation for a compelling storyline is already laid. The narrative writes itself: the respectful, hardworking wrestler versus the arrogant duo who think the rules don't apply to them. This kind of storytelling resonates because it's based on real emotions and real conflict. Fans would be invested because they know there's genuine feeling behind every move, every promo, every confrontation. If any of these wrestlers are in or near championship pictures, this confrontation adds incredible layers to those storylines. Imagine Dame challenging for a title while Spears and Vance try to interfere, or imagine the duo holding tag team gold and Dame assembling a team to dethrone them. The stakes get higher, the matches get bigger, and the payoffs become more satisfying. Beyond the in-ring implications, this situation could establish Izzi Dame as a locker room leader, someone who's willing to stand up for what's right regardless of personal consequences. That kind of reputation is invaluable in professional wrestling. It earns respect from peers, it creates mentorship opportunities, and it positions a wrestler as someone who represents the best values of the business. For Spears and Vance, this could be a wake-up call or a turning point. They have talent, nobody disputes that. But talent without character, without respect, without professionalism, only takes you so far. This confrontation could be the moment that forces them to either change their ways or double down and become true heels, antagonists who fans love to hate. There's also a broader conversation happening here about backstage culture in professional wrestling. This incident highlights the importance of maintaining standards, of veterans guiding younger talent, and of everyone in the locker room holding each other accountable. When someone steps out of line, addressing it directly like Dame did helps preserve the culture that makes wrestling special. The backstage confrontation between Izzi Dame and Spears and Vance is more than just a heated moment, it's a statement about values, respect, and what it means to be a professional wrestler. Dame stood up for principles that veteran wrestlers have protected for generations, while Spears and Vance now face a choice about what kind of legacy they want to build. For fans, this is exactly the kind of authentic drama that makes wrestling compelling. Real emotions, real stakes, and real consequences create the best storylines, and this situation has all three in abundance. What do you think about this confrontation? Team Izzi Dame or Team Spears and Vance? How would you book the follow-up to this incident? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and I love hearing your perspectives. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash the like button, subscribe to Suplex Rumble for more wrestling content, and share this video with your fellow wrestling fans. We've got more deep dives, analysis, and breaking news coming your way all week. I'm your host, and this is Suplex Rumble, where we celebrate everything that makes professional wrestling the greatest show on earth. Until next time, keep the Rumble alive. Use dynamic graphics and wrestling-themed animations throughout. Include upbeat, energetic background music that doesn't overpower narration. Incorporate audience engagement prompts at natural transition points. Maintain enthusiastic, professional tone throughout. All content is original analysis and commentary, respecting copyright and community guidelines.